Chicago. So without further ado, Jorge Guerra, please take it away.
Josue, thank you for the introduction. Let me get my presentation up. All right. So first and foremost, I want to thank the Chicago North Board for giving me this honor invitation to come over and speak with you all. It's definitely a great honor to speak in front of my familia. With that being said, today I want to talk to you about some market trends, survive and thrive. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. The way that we practice has changed. One of my favorite things that I've heard is it takes 66 days to create a habit. And we've been in quarantine for what, almost a year. New habits have been formed. The way we communicate, the way we talk, the way we innovate, again, is changing at the speed of now. And I think it's up to us to really lead that charge. Now, a little bit about me before I get into the weeds. I have a long bio, but there's 4 things that if you can leave remembering, I think I did a great job. Number 1, starting from all the way in the left, I've been married to the most beautiful woman in the world for almost 15 years. I have 2 beautiful boys, and I start off with my why. And my why is very simple. My 2 boys are super athletes, but no matter how talented they are, they got my Cuban genes. So I'm saving desperately for college. And the beautiful blonde has been collecting diamonds since the day that I met her. The second picture is my mother and my father. And like I heard earlier, you know, our story is common. You know, I'm a first generation Cuban American. You know, my parents were political prisoners that came from a country where they lost their homes, where they lost their properties, and they came to a new country with nothing. So my success is really me standing on their shoulders. Their heritage, their sacrifice, and their exit from communism is something that I wear on my shoulders all the time. The third picture, I am the luckiest guy in the world that I haven't had a job for probably the last 15 years. I've been a broker of a real estate company called RESF. We have over 450 agents. We have offices throughout South Florida, and we're one of the top 50 brokerages in the state. And again, it's one of my favorite passions. And again, I'm going to talk to you a little bit of how we work and what we do there. The last picture is a little bit of my service within our industry. You know, keep in mind that I'm not just somebody here that collects a commission check. I get involved. I know what it takes to, or I've heard stories of what it takes to lose everything you've worked for. So keep in mind, I want to be the tip of the spear within my industry. So from a local level, I was the chairman of the Miami Association of Realtors, the largest association in the nation. I'm very involved with Florida Realtors and the National Association of Realtors. You're going to love this. In 2016, Ted Cruz tried, Marco Rubio tried, but I was the only Cuban to win a national election that year, and I won the Emerging Business and Technology Chair. And from there, I'm now the global liaison. That's just a little bit about me, but if you can remember any of those things, I think I've been successful. First and foremost, there's been a huge technology revolution taking place. I spoke to you about habits, 66 days. We're way beyond that. What has changed? You know, let me talk to you about 5 tools that I'm using now to survive and thrive. Number 1, the Zoom boom. The way we communicate due to COVID, 6 feet apart, quarantining has changed. And our business is a face-to-face, nose-to-nose business. How are we able to combat that today? Obviously, Zoom. Couple things that we're doing here in South Florida differently. Okay, we're leveraging Zoom to create a new listing presentation value proposition. No longer am I just pitching myself. Now I have access to an appraiser being able to zoom in, a contractor being able to zoom in, a home inspector being able to zoom in. This is the point in our career where we need to elevate our value proposition and compete in a level where software can't. Okay, prospecting, again, great opportunity to network and get together. So one thing that we have to master in this pandemic is actually Zoom. Number 2, ring light. You see the person all the way on the right-hand side? I don't want you looking like an FBI witness. It's time to people to see you clearly. Number 3, turn it up. Mic, being able to communicate clearly and have people understand is a game changer when it comes to communication. Number 4, stabilize your image. Okay, when it comes to video and video marketing, the way that you capture and the way that you demonstrate makes all the difference. The tools and the technology that weren't available today in the past are available today in order to make a difference. The last tool, and probably the most important tool, is the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, our job is to make sure that we're able to capture many different things, but more importantly, what we sell. Okay, a wide angle lens and a wide angle camera, or somebody in our arsenal needs to have this where we're able to go out there and capture images. Video for me has been the biggest aha way before the pandemic, but really during the pandemic really cemented how important video marketing and adding video to your repertoire is. Let me share this with you. 98% of all home buyers begin online. If you agree, go to the chat and give me a yes. This stat, this is the way we search in 2021. Okay, we search on a 15-inch computer. We search on a 10-inch iPad. We search on a 6-inch mobile device. We have to now curate our content for that medium. How do we do that in 2021 and compete? Understand this, that 90% of all internet activity is video. So even more of an argument for adding this to your repertoire. Filmmaker magazine. Video does help market properties. For the real estate agent, it's the best listing tool out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this article was written before the pandemic. Imagine now where people are avoiding any opportunity to get in front of people, to go visit places. How important being able to get video, put it in front of people's eyes, anywhere in the world, at any time. It is now the superpower that we need to add moving forward. This is a quick little look at my YouTube channel. The reason why I'm such a big advocate on video is very simple. I am an independent broker in South Florida, one of the most competitive markets of all time. You know, the only way that I've been able to compete and succeed is really making a strong commitment, and the commitment is simple. I am going to do the best that I can when I list a property, and nothing has been able to beat video and the experience that video creates. But more importantly, the versatility that video gives you when you market. Here's a critical path on what I use video for. Number one, as a director, I use the full address, the exterior, the interior, and I end it with my contact info. I host it on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you see there, you'll see some of my distribution panels, which I'll go over in a second. I host all my video on YouTube because YouTube is the second most search engine in the world. And it gives me analytics. And keep in mind that data is powerful. When I'm out there marketing and I need to argue for a price improvement, okay, when I have statistics of people, where they viewed it, how long they viewed it, and how many people I viewed it, it gives me the argument that I need to create that case, okay? Just to see my back end, okay? On my YouTube channel, I get over 30,000 views. I get people to sit down in front of a computer and watch it 30,000 times. And if you look at the stat in the end, I made $124 this month on my YouTube revenue. Think that at the end of the year, I get to upgrade my gear with what YouTube makes for me. When it comes to Facebook marketing, to be able to get a video and be able to drop it in a farm area like Key Biscayne, one of the most competitive farm areas in my market, to avoid having to go the print routes, to go into their mobile phones where their eyes are at, to me is very powerful. And again, very inexpensive. And when you see the numbers, small cost, high yield is something that I always add to my arsenal. It's no longer about web appeal, it's about curb appeal. That's one of my favorite sayings, one of the sayings that I use in my listing presentation, and one of the things that I base my presentations on. I want to make sure wherever you are in the world that you're able to see it. In 2021, okay, keep in mind that Google right now is the eyes and the ears of buyers. Okay, I want to make sure that when they Google my agents or when they Google my company, that they get to see the power and how we leverage video, and they get to find my social distribution on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I also spread it out through other avenues like my website, my YouTube channel, my blog, Instagram, Facebook, email campaign, print, and my favorite is QR code. Today, more than ever, we're leveraging QR codes at restaurants, at events, at touchless open houses. And again, what a great way to share that video. Again, this is another shot of my critical path for those of you guys that want to take a picture of it or save it. And again, it's all about distribution, MLS, listing, email, print, website, LoopNet, CoStar, social distribution. Again, very powerful and very versatile. Ladies and gentlemen, from my experience and pre-pandemic, video tracks 6 times more buyers to your listings, giving the traffic 6 times more time there. Lastly, giving you 6 times the chances to sell your house. And I know you can't recognize my biceps here, Okay, but when you add video and great marketing to your listing, it's 6 times stronger than the average listing. And I promise you, here, us Hispanics, boy, this is something that's right down our alley. Aerial video. I don't know how powerful aerial video is in Chicago North, but here in South Florida, it's very powerful to be able to show a property from the sky, to show things that are important from a distance, from a marketing perspective, from a social media perspective. Again, it has been very powerful for us. I want to let you know that regardless of tech, regardless of what you do, this business, like Jose said earlier, it's really about relationships. But more importantly, in these relationships, in this competitive business that we're in, we need to showcase what we do differently. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you guys that want a copy of this presentation, if you go to jorgeguerra.com, there's a PDF download for you guys to have a copy of. With that being said, I want to thank Nahrep. My very first presentation ever was with Nahrep. So Nahrep is very dear to my heart. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak here today.
Okay, like, man, that was hot. It was really hot.
I had too much coffee and I wanted to make sure that I hit my time.
God.
I did it in 10 minutes, baby, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. That was amazing. That was amazing. That Café Cubano, I think you could do it even without the Café Cubano, but I loved it. You know what I really liked about this? And I got to say, a couple takeaways from your presentation. One, video is the new superpower. Love that. Also, distribution creates an even puts your superpower out there. So understanding that you are a brand. Use that video to market your company, market yourself, get it out there in all those channels, because it's really about impressions, right? All those impressions getting out there. I loved it. The other thing was leverage your business partners, right? Whoever thought I do these buyer consultations and I talk to my sellers through Zoom. But guess what? Yeah, I should bring in an appraiser. I should bring in an inspector. How about the attorney? Let's all have a dialogue. Let's do this to show that you have all these business partners available to them that they can use and they can leverage in the transaction. That's amazing.
Mabel, we have to be better than software, than technology. And with the tools that are out there and our brains, and the changes that are going on, we have a great opportunity to really grow our value proposition. We just got to think outside the box, put our heads together as an industry, have awesome events like this to brainstorm and mastermind and really change the trajectory of how we practice, moving forward. So, we're in the cusp of a bunch of cool stuff. We just got to keep our eyes open. We got to stay together as a community. We got to stay committed. For those of you guys that are thinking about joining Nahrep or haven't joined Nahrep, this is the school of right now. This is what's hot and what's not. So if you ever have a doubt, this is one membership that I never let pass. And this is one organization that does one of the best jobs in making us successful. So I want to just make sure that I throw that in there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real stuff. When I heard Jose Duarte talk, I thought I was going to bring the heat. My man had heat there as well. So listen, you guys are top of your game. Very impressed. And again, very honored to even be in the same conference with you guys.
Thank you so much, Jorge. Really appreciate it. And thank you for that great presentation. And I just want everyone to know out there that this video is going to be available to you at all times. So guess what? You forget something, come back to Chicago North right on Facebook and you'll be able to watch it over and over, because I got to tell you, I'm going to go back and I'm definitely going to watch it, because there was a lot of stuff in that presentation, as well as that great conversation with Josue, that are things that you can use. Talk about leveraging relationships, right? But also the power of conversations, where you can get micro coaching, that you're masterminding. It doesn't have to be anything super formal. It could be things that are small. So use the power of conversation to actually learn from each other, to give to each other, and to share that information. I think that's actually another takeaway. And then understanding your business. Does Jorge understand his business? Absolutely. Does Josue understand his business? Absolutely. He can talk about the percentage of referrals, how he stays in contact with them. He can break down all the metrics. And we saw from the video perspective, just on the business side for Jorge, how that works. I think this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here today and for actually being part of our first virtual event ever for this year, for 2021. And with that, everyone, goodbye. But again, go to Facebook, Chicago North, and definitely you're going to be able to see this. and watch it over and over and share. Thank you so much and have a great day.